Chapter 1: The Road to Fluency. I live in a small, quiet town. I have a big dream. I want to become an international travel guide. I imagine myself leading groups of tourists from all over the world. I want to show them beautiful places, share stories, and help them understand the culture of my country. I want to see faraway places, meet interesting people, and, most of all, make connections. But there is one big problem. I don't feel confident speaking English. In school, I learned a little English. However, speaking it fluently is much harder than I thought. Every time I try to speak, I get nervous. I worry about making mistakes and sounding foolish. Sometimes I don't even try. I think about all the words and rules I don't know yet. This fear holds me back. My dream of guiding people feels like it's slipping away. Deep down, I know that speaking English is important if I want to reach my goals. One sunny afternoon, I decide to go to a small cafe in town for a change of scenery. I find a cozy corner, order a coffee, and try to relax. As I sip my drink, I hear voices behind me. When I turn around, I see a group of people at the next table speaking in English. They are laughing, chatting, and sharing stories. Their conversation sounds natural and effortless. The way they speak is smooth and confident. It sounds like music to me, the rhythm of fluent English filling the room with life. I can't help but feel a spark inside me as I listen. That's what I want, I think. I want to speak like that. I want to share stories in English, just like them. I imagine myself in their place, speaking English confidently with people from different countries, connecting with them, laughing, and exchanging ideas. For the first time, I feel a strong determination rise within me. I know it won't be easy, and I will face many challenges, but I decide that day to give it my all. I want to make my dream a reality. That evening, I go home feeling inspired. I take out a notebook and write down my goal in big, bold letters. I will speak English fluently. I make a promise to myself that I'll practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. I know it will take time and effort, but I believe that each step will bring me closer to fluency. I feel a surge of hope as I close my notebook. I don't know exactly how I'll get there, but the first step is believing that I can. In the days that follow, I start small. I watch videos in English, listen to songs, and try to understand the words. I read simple English articles and practice speaking sentences out loud, even if no one is there to listen. I stumble, make mistakes, and laugh at myself, but I don't stop. Every time I feel nervous or shy, I remember those people in the cafe speaking so naturally. I hold on to that image as my inspiration. I feel like I'm on my own little language island. Like Robinson Crusoe, who was stranded on an island and had to learn everything step by step to survive. I don't know exactly what to do at first, but I learn as I go. Crusoe figured out how to build a shelter, find food and make a life for himself. My journey to learn English is similar. I don't know everything yet, but each day I find small ways to move forward. Every new word I learn and every sentence I speak is like a step toward building my own shelter in this new language. I imagine a day in the future when I'll finally feel at home with English. I picture myself leading a group of tourists, sharing stories confidently in English, and connecting with people from around the world. This image keeps me going, fueling my desire to learn. The journey may be long, but the spark of my dream has turned into a small but steady flame. I'm ready to keep going, one step at a time. Chapter 2: Overcoming Fear. The next week, I decide to take my commitment seriously and enroll in a beginner's English course at the local community center. I feel nervous but also excited. This is my first real step toward becoming fluent. When I arrive, I see a few other students who, like me, seem a bit unsure. Some are older, some younger, but we all share the same goal. It's comforting to know that I'm not alone on this journey. Our teacher is kind and patient, and she starts the first lesson by teaching us simple greetings and phrases. As we go through the basics, I realize just how much I don't know. Even the simplest sentences feel challenging. I keep stumbling over words and I feel clumsy and frustrated. Part of me wonders if I'm too old to be learning like this, but another part of me is determined to keep going. This is the path I chose, and I'm not giving up. During one of the lessons, I meet a few other students who feel just as nervous as I do. There's Ria, who wants to learn English to apply for a better job, and Samir, who hopes to study abroad someday. We quickly become friends and start sitting together in class. After each lesson, we stay back to practice what we've learned. We laugh at our mistakes and help each other with tricky words. Ria and I try to practice basic conversations, and even though we stumble and sometimes get it wrong, it feels great to have someone to practice with. One evening after class, Ria and Samir suggest that we start a study group. We can meet a few times a week to practice more, Ria says. I think it will help us improve faster. I agree, feeling relieved. Practicing with them feels safe because we're all beginners, and there's no pressure to be perfect. We decide to meet at a park near the community center after our classes. In our study group, we start with simple exercises, like introducing ourselves and talking about our day in English. Sometimes we bring small flashcards with new vocabulary words, and we try to use them in sentences. It's not easy. We still make a lot of mistakes, but instead of feeling embarrassed, we laugh about it. Slowly, I start to feel more comfortable with speaking. The fear of making mistakes fades a little, and I realize that practicing with friends makes the process more enjoyable. It's like building a foundation together, brick by brick, one word at a time. One day, Ria dares me to go up to a tourist in the park and say, "Hello?" My heart pounds, and I feel my hands getting sweaty. Part of me wants to back out, But another part of me knows that this is an important step. If I can speak to someone who doesn't speak my native language, I'll feel braver. So I take a deep breath and walk up to a tourist who's sitting on a bench looking at a map. I smile nervously and say, "Hello, can I help you?" The tourist looks up and smiles back, saying, "Oh, yes, thank you. I'm looking for the museum." At first, I'm so surprised that he understood me. I quickly give him directions, trying to use the phrases we learned in class. It's not perfect, and I stumble a little, but he thanks me and walks away, and I feel a surge of excitement. I actually did it. I spoke English with a stranger. It was a small interaction, but to me, it feels like a huge step forward. I share the experience with Ria and Samir, and they cheer me on, encouraging me to keep practicing. That small success makes me feel a little braver, a little more capable. I start looking forward to our study group even more, and I realize that having friends who share my struggles and support my growth makes the journey much easier. I know I have a long way to go, but for the first time, I feel like I'm truly on my way. Like Robinson Crusoe building his shelter from scratch, I'm building my confidence in English bit by bit. I still stumble, but each mistake feels less like a failure and more like a lesson. Now I'm beginning to see that every small victory counts, and each step I take brings me closer to my dream. Chapter 3. Small Steps Forward. As the days pass, I realize that speaking English isn't just about using the right words. It's also about understanding others. I want to sound natural, to flow with the language instead of stopping and starting, trying to remember each word. My teacher suggests an exercise that seems simple but proves to be very powerful: listening. She tells us, the more you listen, the more you'll understand. Just listen to English whenever you can. That night, I go home and search for English videos. I find one that seems interesting, a short documentary about animals. At first, it's challenging. The people in the video speak quickly, and I only catch a few words, but instead of giving up, I keep listening. I tell myself that understanding even a little is progress. I sit with my notebook and jot down words I recognize. Slowly, I start to get the gist of the sentences, even if I don't understand every single word. The next day in class, I mention this to Ria, and she says, "Why don't we try listening to English songs too?" That sounds like fun. So after class, we head to a nearby cafe with Samir, and we play a few popular English songs. We try to guess the lyrics, laughing as we mishear words and make silly guesses. It's surprising how music helps. The rhythm and melody make it easier to remember words. Soon, I find myself humming the tunes and repeating phrases I've heard. Listening to English every day becomes a routine for me. I try different things. I watch short YouTube videos, listen to songs, and sometimes even play English podcasts. Some words are difficult, but I don't let that stop me. I focus on the overall meaning instead of getting stuck on each word. Bit by bit, I notice an improvement. Words that once sounded strange now feel familiar, and phrases I couldn't understand before start making sense. One night, I stumble upon a podcast about travel stories, and I'm immediately hooked. The host talks about different countries, sharing funny experiences and cultural insights. Even though I don't understand every word, the excitement in his voice and the stories he tells make me feel connected. It feels as if I'm traveling with him, experiencing the adventures through his words. This sparks something inside me, reminding me why I wanted to learn English in the first place. Listening to his stories, I feel motivated to keep going, to push through the tough parts so I can share my own stories one day. As my listening improves, I start noticing the little things, like the tone people use, the way they stress certain words, and the pauses in between. I realize that these details add life to the language. English isn't just about the words. It's about how you say them, too. Watching movies and listening to different accents, I start picking up on these subtle nuances. It's like opening a new door into the language, understanding that English has its own rhythm and character. One evening in our study group, Ria shares that she's been watching a series in English with subtitles. She says it's helped her understand conversations better. Intrigued, I decide to give it a try. I find a show that looks interesting and start watching with English subtitles. At first, I read every word, focusing on matching the sounds to the text. But soon, I start understanding without relying on the subtitles as much. Watching the characters' expressions and hearing their tone, I can guess the meaning without needing to read along. It feels like a breakthrough. English is slowly becoming something I can understand naturally. In class, I can now follow conversations a little better, and I feel more confident speaking up. My teacher notices my progress and smiles, saying, "Listening is the secret. The more you listen, the easier speaking becomes." She's right. Without realizing it, listening has become the foundation of my learning. I've started thinking in English, hearing phrases in my mind even when I'm not studying. It feels like the language is becoming a part of me, like I'm carrying it everywhere I go. By the end of the month, I feel like I've made a real shift. I may not be fluent yet, but I'm on my way. I understand more than I did before, and my speaking feels smoother. Just as Robinson Crusoe gradually learned the rhythms of the island, I'm beginning to learn the rhythm of English. Listening has opened up a world of understanding, and I'm eager to explore it further, knowing that each word, each story, brings me closer to my dream. Chapter 4. Finding Inspiration. As I continue my journey to speak English fluently, I realize that the most important part is practice. I know I need to make the most of every opportunity to practice my speaking skills. So, I decide to seek out new ways to build my confidence and improve my fluency. One Saturday morning, I visit a local language exchange event that I heard about from a friend. The idea is simple. People come together to practice speaking different languages. I feel a mix of excitement and fear as I enter the room filled with chatter and laughter. I take a deep breath, reminding myself that everyone is there to learn, just like I am. As I look around, I spot a few people who seem approachable. I gather my courage and approach a friendly-looking group. "Hi, I'm Aria," I say, trying to sound confident despite my nerves. They greet me warmly, and I learn that they are also learning English. We start talking, and I find myself sharing a bit about my dream of becoming a travel guide. It's amazing how just talking about my passion helps me feel more comfortable. During our conversation, I realize that I don't have to be perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay. The more I speak, the more I find myself thinking in English instead of translating from my native language. I start using phrases I've practiced in class, and they flow more easily than before. My heart races with excitement when I catch myself expressing thoughts clearly and without hesitation. As the weeks pass, I attend more language exchange events. Each time, I feel a little braver and a little more fluent. I meet people from different countries, each with their own story and language journey. Sometimes, I even help them practice my native language. It's fulfilling to share what I know and to see them light up when they understand a new word or phrase. One evening, I meet a traveler named Jake from Canada at one of the events. He's visiting my town and wants to practice his English while also learning about the local culture. We end up spending a few hours talking about our lives, our dreams, and the places we want to visit. Jake encourages me to share stories in English, and I tell him about my plans to become a travel guide. He listens intently and gives me helpful feedback, suggesting ways to express my ideas more clearly. His encouragement feels like a boost to my confidence. Inspired by our conversation, I start writing short travel stories in English. I keep a journal where I describe my favorite places and experiences in my town. At first, it feels challenging to find the right words, but I remind myself of all the listening and practice I've done. I push through, focusing on sharing my thoughts rather than worrying about mistakes. Writing helps me organize my ideas, and I enjoy the creative process. I feel like I'm not just learning a language, I'm also discovering a way to express myself. Encouraged by my progress, I decide to share one of my stories at the next language exchange event. My heart pounds as I prepare to read it aloud, but I know this is an important step for me. When the time comes, I stand in front of the group, take a deep breath, and begin reading. As I speak, I notice the supportive smiles of my new friends, which gives me the strength to continue. I stutter a little and mispronounce a few words, but the audience listens attentively and applauds when I finish. Their encouragement makes me feel proud and accomplished. From that moment, I understand that practice is the key to building confidence. Each time I speak in English, whether it's sharing a story, engaging in conversation, or helping someone else learn, I grow stronger. The fear that once held me back starts to fade, replaced by a newfound sense of self-assurance. I realize that every conversation, every story shared, brings me closer to my dream. With each step I take, I am not just learning a language, I am discovering who I am and what I can achieve. I am on my way to becoming the confident speaker I always wanted to be, ready to embrace the adventures that await me in the world of travel and storytelling. Chapter 5. The Power of Practice. As I continue to practice my English, I come to understand that making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process. At first, I felt embarrassed whenever I stumbled over words or forgot a phrase, but now I see those moments differently. Each mistake is a lesson that helps me grow. I remind myself that every great speaker has faced challenges along the way. One evening, during our study group, Ria shares her experience from a recent job interview. She confidently spoke about her skills and qualifications in English, but she made a few mistakes along the way. I was so nervous, but I kept going, she says with a smile. In the end, they appreciated my effort, even if I didn't get every word right. Hearing her story inspires me. It shows that even when we mess up, we can still make a positive impression. Encouraged by Ria's story, I decide to embrace my own mistakes. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations, I push myself to engage more, even if I'm not fully confident. I recall the night I spoke to the tourist in the park. At that moment, I had taken a chance, and it turned out to be a valuable experience. I want to create more opportunities like that for myself. One Saturday, I attend another language exchange event. I'm feeling particularly adventurous and decide to start a conversation with a group of native English speakers. As I approach them, my heart races, but I remind myself that I have nothing to lose. I introduce myself and ask them about their travels. They seem friendly and eager to chat, which helps ease my nerves. As we talk, I notice that I struggle with some words, and my sentences aren't always perfect. I stutter and pause, searching for the right phrases. However, instead of feeling embarrassed, I focus on the conversation. The group is encouraging, and they correct my mistakes gently when needed. One of them even says, "It's great that you're practicing. Keep it up." Their kindness reassures me and helps me relax. Over the following weeks, I notice a change in my attitude. I start to see mistakes as stepping stones rather than obstacles. When I mispronounce a word or mix up tenses, I laugh it off and correct myself. I've learned that it's okay not to be perfect, and that each mistake is a chance to learn something new. To challenge myself even further, I decide to join a public speaking club that meets once a week. The idea of speaking in front of a crowd is intimidating, but I'm eager to improve. At the first meeting, I sit in a circle with others who are also learning to speak confidently. I feel a mixture of excitement and nervousness as I listen to everyone share their stories. When it's finally my turn to speak, I take a deep breath and present a short story about my journey to learn English. I talk about my struggles, my progress, and the friends I've made along the way. My voice shakes a little, and I stumble over a few words, but I keep going. When I finish, the group applauds, and I feel a rush of pride. It's a small victory, but it reminds me of how far I've come. Over time, I become more comfortable speaking in front of others. I start experimenting with different ways to express myself. Sometimes I use humor, and other times I share personal anecdotes. Each time I speak, I feel a bit more confident, as if I'm shedding layers of fear and insecurity. I realize that sharing my experiences not only helps me improve, but also connects me with others. As I reflect on my journey, I'm grateful for every step I've taken. The moments of doubt and frustration have shaped me into a more resilient person. I've learned to embrace mistakes, knowing that they are a vital part of my growth. I also understand the importance of community. My friends, study group, and language exchange partners have supported me along the way. We celebrate each other's successes, no matter how small, and we push each other to keep going. I feel a sense of belonging that fuels my motivation to learn. By the end of this chapter in my journey, I recognize that speaking English fluently is not just about mastering vocabulary or grammar. It's about connecting with others and sharing my story. With every conversation, I build not only my language skills, but also my confidence. I look forward to the challenges ahead, knowing that I am becoming the fluent speaker I've always dreamed of being. Chapter 6: Learning from Mistakes. As I continue to grow in my English speaking journey, I realize that this experience is about more than just learning a language. It's about discovering who I am and what I'm capable of. Each conversation, each story shared, is a step toward understanding myself better and becoming more confident in my abilities. One day, while studying at a cafe, I overhear a group of tourists discussing their travel plans. They're trying to decide which places to visit in my city. A spark of curiosity ignites within me. I want to help them. Gathering my courage, I approach them and introduce myself. Hi, I'm Aria. If you need any tips about places to visit, I'd be happy to help. They seem surprised and delighted. We start talking about the best local attractions, and I share my favorite spots. I feel a rush of excitement as I explain why I love these places and what makes them special. Their interest in my recommendations boosts my confidence, and I find myself speaking more naturally, using phrases and vocabulary I've learned along the way. During our conversation, one of the tourists, a woman named Emily, asks me about my own experiences traveling. I share my dream of becoming a travel guide and express my passion for helping others discover new places. To my surprise, Emily responds enthusiastically, saying, "You have a real talent for this. You should consider leading tours. Your passion shines through." Her words resonate with me, planting a seed of possibility in my mind. After our conversation, I reflect on the encounter. I realize how much I enjoy sharing my knowledge and helping others. This experience opens my eyes to a potential future I hadn't fully considered before. Perhaps I could turn my passion for travel and English into a career. The thought excites me, but it also fills me with questions and uncertainty. Motivated by this new insight, I start researching what it takes to become a travel guide. I discover that many guides need to be fluent in English and have good communication skills. This realization fuels my determination to continue improving my language skills. I set a goal to practice English daily, focusing on speaking, listening, and learning new vocabulary related to travel. As I dive deeper into this journey, I begin writing travel articles in English. I choose topics like the best local foods to try, cultural customs, and must-see landmarks. Writing helps me articulate my thoughts and share my experiences in a structured way. Each article I complete feels like a small victory, a step closer to my dream. To enhance my writing skills, I decide to join an online writing community. I share my articles and seek feedback from others who are passionate about travel writing. The feedback is valuable, and I learn how to refine my style and engage my readers better. I embrace constructive criticism, viewing it as an opportunity to grow rather than a setback. Over time, I notice that my confidence in speaking English also spills over into my writing. The more I write, the easier it becomes to express my thoughts. I start to enjoy the process of creating narratives and sharing stories, and I feel a sense of pride in my progress. One evening, I participate in a local storytelling event. I prepare a short story about my journey to learn English and how it has opened up new opportunities for me. When it's my turn to speak, I feel a mixture of excitement and nervousness, but I remind myself of how far I've come. As I share my story, I notice the audience's reactions. They laugh at the funny parts and nod in understanding during the more serious moments. Their engagement makes me feel connected, and I lose track of my nerves. After my performance, several people approach me to compliment my story. They express how relatable my experiences were and share their own language learning journeys. This sense of community reinforces my belief that we're all in this together, learning and growing side by side. As I continue this journey, I realize that learning English is not just about the language itself. It's about building connections, discovering my passions, and finding my voice. I feel empowered to share my story, knowing that my experiences can inspire others. I embrace the challenges and uncertainties, knowing that they are all part of this incredible journey of self-discovery. With each conversation, each article, and each story I share, I grow more confident in my abilities. I am becoming the person I always wanted to be, one who speaks English fluently and connects with others through the power of language. I look forward to what lies ahead, knowing that my journey is just beginning. Chapter 7. Sharing my passion with the world. As my confidence in speaking English grows, I feel an overwhelming desire to share my passion for travel and language with others. I start thinking about ways I can inspire people on their own journeys to learn English. I want to create a space where others can connect, practice, and feel encouraged, just as I have throughout my experiences. One day, while sitting at my favorite cafe, an idea sparks in my mind. What if I start a blog? This could be a platform where I can share my travel stories, tips for learning English, and my experiences as a language learner. The thought excites me, and I envision a community of people who share similar dreams and challenges. I spend the next few days researching how to start a blog. I learn about different platforms, writing styles, and how to attract an audience. I feel a mix of excitement and nervousness as I plan my first few posts. I want to create content that is both relatable and helpful, something that reflects my journey and encourages others to embark on their own. After setting up my blog, I write my first post titled, "My Journey to Speaking English Fluently." I share my story, my struggles, my triumphs, and the moments that have shaped me along the way. I write about the language exchange events, the friends I've made, and the lessons I've learned from mistakes. As I type, I feel a sense of fulfillment. Writing my story reminds me of how far I've come and how much I still want to achieve. Once I hit the publish button, I feel a rush of excitement mixed with anxiety. What if no one reads it? What if they don't find it interesting? But deep down, I remind myself that this is about sharing my journey, not just seeking validation. To my surprise, within a few days, I start receiving comments from readers who resonate with my experiences. Some share their own struggles with learning English, while others express gratitude for the encouragement I provide. I realize that my words have the power to connect people, and this fuels my desire to keep writing. As my blog gains traction, I decide to host a small online workshop on learning English through travel stories. I invite people from my language exchange group and other friends who are interested in improving their language skills. I plan a fun and interactive session where we can share travel anecdotes, practice speaking, and learn new vocabulary together. On the day of the workshop, I feel a mix of excitement and nervousness as participants join the video call. I introduce myself and share my journey, just as I did in my first blog post. Then, I encourage everyone to share their own travel stories. The atmosphere is filled with laughter and enthusiasm as we exchange experiences and learn from one another. During the workshop, I noticed that people who were initially shy begin to open up. They share funny mishaps from their travels, cultural surprises, and their own dreams of exploring the world. I feel proud to facilitate this space for them, and it reinforces my belief that learning a language is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about connecting with others and sharing experiences. After the workshop, I receive messages from participants expressing how much they enjoyed it and how inspired they feel to keep learning. Their feedback warms my heart and reminds me of why I started this journey in the first place. I realize that I want to continue hosting these workshops regularly. creating a supportive community for language learners. Encouraged by this success, I start exploring other ways to share my passion. I think about creating a YouTube channel where I can share travel tips, language learning advice, and personal stories. Video content feels intimidating, but I remind myself that it's another opportunity to connect with people and inspire them. I start researching how to create engaging videos and learn about editing techniques. Once I feel prepared, I film my first video discussing my favorite travel destinations and how they helped me improve my English. I share personal anecdotes, tips for overcoming language barriers, and the joy of exploring new cultures. As I edit the video, I feel a mixture of excitement and nervousness about putting myself out there again. When I finally upload the video, I feel vulnerable and yet hopeful. Just like with my blog, I remind myself that this is about sharing my journey and connecting with others. Over the next few weeks, I receive comments and messages from viewers who appreciate my authenticity and passion. Some share their own travel experiences and ask for advice on learning English, and I enjoy interacting with them. This journey of sharing my passion continues to deepen my love for language learning. Each blog post, each workshop, and each video feels like a step toward building a community that supports one another in our journeys. I realize that I'm not just learning to speak English. I'm also becoming a part of something much larger, a network of individuals who encourage and uplift one another. As I reflect on how far I've come, I feel a profound sense of gratitude. The challenges I faced have shaped me into a more confident speaker and a passionate storyteller. I am excited about the future and all the possibilities that lie ahead. I know that the journey to fluency is ongoing, but I am ready to embrace every opportunity, challenge, and connection along the way. I look forward to sharing my experiences and inspiring others to pursue their dreams of speaking English fluently. Chapter 8: Connecting Through Culture and Language. As I continue to share my journey through my blog and videos, I become increasingly aware of the importance of culture in language learning. I realize that understanding the culture behind a language enhances communication and connection. Speaking English is not just about words and grammar. It's about understanding the people who speak it and the context in which they live. One day, I receive an email from a reader named Liam, who is from the UK. He shares that he enjoys my blog and is interested in learning more about my culture in India. This sparks an idea in my mind. Why not create a series of posts that highlight the cultural aspects of my country and how they influence language learning? I know that exploring our cultural differences can enrich our understanding of each other and create meaningful conversations. I begin researching various cultural topics, from traditional festivals and foods to customs and values. I write my first post titled 5 Unique Indian Festivals and Their Significance. In it, I describe vibrant celebrations like Diwali and Holi, sharing the customs and traditions associated with each festival. I also explain how these events can serve as great opportunities for language learners to practice their English skills while connecting with locals. When I publish the post, I feel a wave of excitement. I'm not just sharing my experiences, I'm also offering insights into my culture that can help others understand the context of our conversations. To my delight, I receive positive feedback from readers, including Liam, who expresses interest in visiting India someday. He asks questions about my favorite festivals, and I eagerly respond, feeling a sense of pride in my heritage. Encouraged by the response, I create more cultural content. I write about traditional Indian cuisine, explaining popular dishes like biryani and dosa, and I provide simple recipes for readers to try. I also explore cultural norms, such as the importance of hospitality and family values in Indian society. Each post brings me closer to understanding my culture and helps others connect with it through language. As I dive deeper into this project, I think about how I can bring people together to experience our cultures firsthand. Inspired by my earlier workshops, I decide to organize a cultural exchange event online. I invite friends from my language exchange group and my blog readers to join. The goal is to create a space where we can share our cultures, learn from one another, and practice English in a fun and engaging way. On the day of the event, I feel a mix of excitement and nerves. I prepare a presentation showcasing different aspects of Indian culture, including music, dance, and clothing. I also encourage participants to share something unique about their cultures. As the event begins, I'm greeted by enthusiastic faces from around the world, each eager to connect and share. As I present, I feel a sense of joy in sharing my culture. The participants engage with questions and comments, and I can see their interest grow. When it's their turn to share, we hear stories from various countries, each with its own rich traditions and experiences. We laugh together, learn from one another, and create a warm atmosphere of camaraderie. One participant, Maya from Brazil, shares a beautiful story about Carnival and how it brings people together through music and dance. I find myself fascinated by her description, and it inspires me to learn more about her culture. This exchange of stories reminds me that despite our differences, we share similar values and experiences. As the event comes to a close, I feel an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. We've created connections across cultures, and participants express how much they enjoyed the experience. They thank me for organizing the event and share how it has motivated them to explore more about different cultures and languages. The success of this cultural exchange sparks an idea for a new series on my blog, Cultural Conversations. In this series, I plan to feature guest posts from friends and readers around the world, allowing them to share their unique cultural experiences. I believe this will not only enrich my blog, but also create a platform for diverse voices and stories. Over the next few months, I reach out to friends I've met through my language exchange and blogging community, inviting them to contribute. I'm amazed at the variety of perspectives and experiences that come my way. Each guest post introduces new cultural insights, language tips, and personal stories that resonate with my readers. I learn about the customs of different countries, the challenges of learning new languages, and the beauty of connecting with others. As I compile these stories, I realize that language learning is a shared journey. Each person's experience is unique, but we all face similar challenges and triumphs. This understanding deepens my appreciation for the power of language as a bridge that connects us across borders. Reflecting on my journey, I recognize that learning English has transformed my life in ways I never imagined. It has opened doors to new friendships, opportunities, and experiences. More importantly, it has allowed me to share my passion for travel and culture, creating connections with people around the world. I feel grateful for every step I've taken, from the first hesitant words I spoke to the vibrant conversations I now engage in. I look forward to continuing this journey, embracing new challenges and celebrating the beauty of language and culture. Together, we can inspire one another to reach our goals, explore new horizons, and create a world where language brings us closer together.
My name is Robinson. I am from England. I am 18 years old. My father is German. My mother is English. I have 2 brothers. I have 1 sister. We are a good family. My father is a good businessman. We have money. I have a good school. I have a good life. But I have a dream. I want to travel. I want to see the world. My father is a good man. He wants the best for me. But my dream is not his dream. He is not happy. The situation is not easy. It is morning. My father is in his room. He wants to speak with me. I go to his room. My father has some questions. My father wants to know why I want to travel. My father says, traveling is dangerous. Traveling is not comfortable. You can die. I think about it. Traveling is dangerous. It is not comfortable. I can die. But it is also very interesting. I can see new countries. I can meet new people. I think about traveling every day. Maybe my mother can help me. I speak with my mother. I tell my mother, I want to travel. I want to see the world. Please, speak with my father. Maybe with your help I can travel. My mother loves me, but she thinks that traveling is dangerous. She thinks that my place is at home. She thinks that life in England is the best for me. 1 year later, I visit one big town. The name of this town is Hull. I meet my friend. His father has a ship. They travel to London. My friend tells me, go with me. I think about it. I am not prepared. But I can try if traveling is for me. I go to London. I am very happy. It is my first long journey. It is very interesting. The first hour is good. But then we have problems. We see a storm. The storm is big. The wind is strong. The ship goes up and down. I have fear. I think about my home. I think about my comfortable bed. The storm is finished in the morning. The weather is nice, and the evening is beautiful. Everything is quiet. One man comes to me. We speak. We speak about the storm. I speak about my fear. The man gives me a drink. I drink very much. I sleep very well at night. The next day, I forget about my home. I forget about my comfortable bed. I dream more about traveling. The next day, our ship is slow because the wind is not strong. Then the wind is strong again. We go fast. A new storm comes. This storm is bigger. I am scared. The men are scared too. The waves are very big. The waves are like mountains. I see other ships. The ships are like toys. The waves play with the ships. I want to go home again. The storm is very big. The men ask God for help. Then, one man sees a hole in the ship. Water is inside. It is a bad situation. Many men go down. They pump the water out. I am very scared. I can't move. One man comes to me. He says, "Go down and help." So I go down. We pump the water out. I hear a gun. It is a signal from our captain. It is a signal that we have a big problem. Our ship is very broken. Our ship is full of water. 2. We work very hard. We pump the water out. But the hole is very big. More and more water is inside the ship. The weather is better. The waves are smaller. But the ship is full of water. We need help. We see another ship before our ship. The men from the ship send a small boat. The men on the boat go to our ship. The men help us. We go on their boat. 15 minutes later, our big ship goes underwater. We are safe on the small boat. We see a land. We go to the land. We see people on the beach. They wait for us. They help us. They give us some money. We can go to London or Hull. I go to London. When I am in London, I meet a captain. The captain goes to Africa. I think that I can make some money there. The captain tells me about the business in Africa. He tells me what to buy in England. He tells me what people in Africa need. The journey to Africa is very good. I have a lot of money after this journey. I am happy. I want to travel more. I want to do more business. I want to learn how to control the ship. The captain teaches me how to control the ship. I go to Africa again. The journey starts well. But soon we have big problems. We see a ship. It is not an English ship. It is a pirate ship. The pirates want to take our ship. Their ship is fast. Soon they are near our ship. The pirates attack us. Many pirates go on our ship. They kill our men. We can't win. We stop the fight. Now we are prisoners. I am young and strong. I must work as a slave. I work for the captain of the pirates. I feel very sad. I have a bad life. I must work hard. I work every day. I work in the house. I work in the garden. The captain tells me what to do. I don't like my work. I want to change my situation. I want to be free again. It is morning. I meet a young woman. She works in the house. She is so beautiful. She is also a slave. She cleans the house. I speak with her. She doesn't speak my language. But I feel that she understands me. When she sees me, she is happy. And I am happy too. Sometimes she touches me. But it is only a short moment. Slaves can't be together. I think about the young woman very often. I want to meet her every day. But she is not in the house every day. When I think about her, I have a nice feeling in my body. I think that I love this woman. I think that she is my girlfriend, and I am her boyfriend. But our love is complicated. We can't live together. It is very sad. Sometimes I fish with the captain or his friends. A young boy helps us. We use a small boat when we fish. One morning, when we fish, we are lost. Fog is around our boat. We see nothing. We can't go home. The next day, the fog is away. We can go home. When we are back home, the captain says, "Use a bigger boat. The bigger boat is better for long journeys." One day the captain tells me, "Put more food and drinks on the boat. Bring some guns, too." The captain wants to fish with his friends. I prepare the boat. I put food and guns on the ship. But the captain's friends don't want to fish. Then the captain tells me, "Prepare the boat for usual fishing for the next day." This is my chance. I can run away. A lot of food and guns are on the boat. I prepare the boat for fishing. But I leave the food and guns on the boat. Tomorrow, I can run away. This is my plan. I think about the young woman. I want to take her with me, but I don't know how to do it. It is not possible to take her on the boat. I am sad. I don't know what to do. I want to be free. But my heart wants to be with her. It is the morning. I meet the young woman in the house. She is so beautiful. I look at her. She knows that something is different. Maybe she understands that this is our last moment together. She looks in my eyes. She touches my hand. I think that she understands. Her face is sad. My face is sad too. She smiles at me. Then she goes away. This is our last moment together. Chapter 4. Lion, 1 hour later, we are ready. I and the boy go to the boat. One man goes with us. He is our boss for today. Soon we are far from the land. But we can't catch fish. Then we go very far from the land. Our boss thinks that we can catch fish there. At one moment, our boss goes to the front of the boat. I quickly push him to the sea. He wants to swim back. I take a gun. When he sees the gun, he swims away. When he is away, I look at the boy. I want to know if he is on my side. I see that he is on my side. After 2 years, I am free. We go very fast. The wind is good. The next day, we are far from the pirate land. But we don't stop. We continue. After 6 days, we must stop. We need some fresh water. We wait for the night. Then, we go to the land. When we are near the land, we hear horrible noises. The boy doesn't want to continue. He is scared. We stay on the boat near the land. But we can't sleep. Some animals come to wash in the water. The animals make horrible noises. The boy is very scared. Then we hear that one animal swims to us. The boy wants to go away. But I don't want to go away. I take one gun. I shoot at the animal. The animal turns. Then the animal swims to the land. The other animals hear the gun. They go away too. We stay on the boat. It is morning. We eat bread for breakfast. The boy wants to go to the beach. I go with him. We take guns. We take big bottles for water. I don't go very far. I want to see the boat. The boy continues alone. The boy returns after some time. He runs. I think that some animal runs after him, but I see nothing dangerous. He has an animal in his hand. The animal is a chicken. He is very happy. I am happy too. We have good meat and fresh water. We don't see dangerous animals. I don't know where we are. I only know that we are near Africa. I think that we are near a land where no people live. We don't see people on the land. We only hear animals. One day, when we go for fresh water, we see a lion. The lion sleeps on the beach. He is very big. He is only 20 meters from us. The boy is scared. Then the lion opens his eyes. When the lion sees us, he runs to us. We don't have much time. I must shoot at the lion. I have 3 guns. The first bullet hits his leg. The second bullet hits his head. The third bullet finishes the animal. We can't eat the meat. The meat is not good, but we take the skin. We put the skin on the boat. The skin is dry soon. Chapter 5. Ship, we continue our journey. We stop only when we need fresh water. Soon, we see that people live on the land. One day, we see a big group of people. They are on the beach. They have many children. They watch us. I want to stop. I want to go to the people. But the boy doesn't like this idea. He is scared. The people want to give us some food. 2 people run to the forest. They return with some food. We don't want to go to the beach. But they don't want to swim to us. We don't know how to take the food. The people see this. They put the food on the ground. Then they go back. When they are far from the food, we go to the food. Now, we are not scared of the people. They come to us. We thank the people. But we have nothing for the people. At that moment, we see 2 animals. The animals run down from the hill. The people are scared. One animal attacks a young girl. I shoot at the animal. I kill the animal. The second animal is scared. The animal runs away. The people are shocked when they hear the gun. They are also shocked when they see that the animal is dead. The people are happy that the girl is alive. They thank us. They give us more food and water. Now, we have a lot of food and water on the boat. We continue our journey. The next day, we see some islands. I think that we can visit the islands, but at that moment, the boy starts to shout. He starts to shout because he sees a ship. The boy is really scared. He thinks that it is a pirate ship. But I look at the ship. I see that the ship is Portuguese. But nobody on the ship sees us. So I shoot from a gun. They hear the gun. They see us. Soon we are on the Portuguese ship. They speak Portuguese, Spanish, and French. But I don't understand the men. But one Scottish sailor is on the ship. He comes to me. I tell him our story. Then all the sailors are very nice. We can stay on the ship. We are very happy. We offer our boat to the captain. But the captain doesn't want to take the boat. He wants to pay for the boat. It is very nice. I tell him that he can buy our boat. I give him a good price. It is half of usual price. The captain agrees. The captain also wants to train the boy as a sailor. I don't like this idea. I think that the boy is very young for this job. I think that the boy also needs freedom. But the captain says that it is good for the boy. Chapter 6. Wife. The boy wants to work for the captain. So the boy starts to be a sailor. The ship is on the way to Brazil. We come to Brazil after 20 days. I say goodbye to the boy and the sailors. Brazil is a new state in South America. Many people start a new life here. It is the same for me. I know nobody here. I meet some people. They have sugar plantations. Soon we are good friends. I like Brazil very much. Soon I learn the language. I have some money from the captain. I buy a small land in Brazil. I start to produce sugar. I don't produce much at the beginning, but after 2 years, my plantation is big. I am single, but my life is good. My financial situation is better every month. After 3 years in Brazil, I have enough money. I can have a woman for cleaning my house. I ask my friends if they know a good woman. One friend says, I have a daughter. She is 18 years old. I think that she can work for you. She is also a very good cook. The next day, his daughter comes to my house. She is friendly, but she is shy. She is also a very pretty girl. We talk. I tell her what I need. The next day, she comes to my house. She cleans the dirty floor. She cleans my furniture. She comes to my house every morning on Monday and on Thursday. She works for 4 hours. She also cooks for me. She also gives food to my cat. I am always happy when I see the girl. Sometimes we have breakfast or lunch together, and we talk. Then, she is ill. She can't come to my house. I feel a strange feeling when she is not in my house. I miss her. I think, maybe, I love her. 1 week later, she comes to my house. I am happy when I see her. I see that she is happy too. I hug her. Then I kiss her. It is a long kiss. 2 weeks later, I go to her father's house. I ask him if I can marry his daughter. He is quiet. I wait for his answer. Then he says, I agree. I am very happy. 2 months later, I marry the daughter of my friend. We start to plan a family. This part of my life is great. We have big plans for our family. We have big plans for our plantation. We need a bigger house. We need more money for a bigger house. I think about the business in Africa. I can make a lot of money in Africa fast. I speak about Africa with my friends very often. I tell my friends that we can make a lot of money in Africa. Chapter 7. Hurricane. One day, 3 friends come to our house. They tell me that they want to go to Africa. They ask me if I want to go with them. I say, Yes, I want to go with you. We start to prepare for the journey. Soon, we are ready. I say goodbye to my wife. Then we go. We want to come back 2 months later. We leave Brazil in September. Our ship is very big, but we are only 17 men. The ship is full of things for business. The weather is good, but very hot at the beginning. 1 week later, we see a hurricane. The hurricane is very strong. Our ship is in danger. The hurricane is finished after 3 days. But when the hurricane is away, we have a problem. The ship is broken. We can't go to Africa. The captain wants to go back and repair the ship. But I don't want to go back. We talk about it. We think about the best solution. Then, in the evening, a second hurricane comes. The wind is strong. The waves are very big. Then one man shouts, "Land!" When the man shouts, "Land!" the ship stops. The sea is not deep enough. It is bad for our broken ship. The ship can break every second. We must go on a smaller boat. This is very dangerous because the boat is very small for 17 men. But we must do it if we want to survive. So we go on a small boat. The waves are very big. The wind is very strong. The wind pushes us to big rocks. We know that the crash is near. Then a big wave comes. The wave turns the boat. I am underwater. I can't breathe. I don't see the other men. I don't see the boat. Then my head is above water. It is only a short moment, but I can breathe. I see a small beach between the rocks. A big wave pushes me to the beach. I am still in water, but I feel a land under my feet. I know that I must stand up. I must get out of the water. The next wave can take me back to sea, but my body is weak. I can't stand up fast. The next wave comes. I am underwater again. I can't breathe again. But then another wave takes me back on the beach. I am in water. But I can stand up. I can go 10 meters. I am on the sand. I am safe. But my arms and legs are very weak. I collapse, and I lie on the beach. After some time, I stand up. I look for the other men. I can't find the other men. I am the only man alive. All my friends are dead. I only find 3 hats and 2 shoes on the beach. It is horrible for me. Chapter 8. Island. The weather is still very bad, but the waves are not so big. I see the ship. The ship is far from the land. I look around. I see that I have nothing. I am wet. I have no other clothes. I have nothing to eat or drink. I have no gun. Dangerous animals can eat me. I have only a small knife which I find in my pocket. This situation is really bad. How can I survive with only a small knife? I need to drink some fresh water. I find a small river. I drink the water. The night comes. I am scared of dangerous animals. I can't sleep on the ground. So, I spend the night in a big tree. When I wake up the next morning, the sea is calm. I still see the ship. I swim to the ship. I don't see a way inside the big ship. I swim around the ship twice. Then I see a rope on one side of the ship. I use the rope. Now, I am on the ship. The ship is empty. I try to find some food. I am lucky. Some food on the ship is dry. I also find a bottle of rum. I take the bottle with me. Then I hear something. Somebody is on the ship. Who is it? Somebody from my friends? It is not possible. My friends are all dead. I am scared. I go to the place where I hear the noises. Then I see who it is. It is a dog. It is a dog of our captain. Now I have a friend. I am not alone. I must take the food, rum, and the dog to the beach. But I don't have a small boat on the ship. I must make a raft. I find some wood. I make a raft from the wood. I also need some clothes. I look for the clothes. When I look for the clothes, I find a nice carpet. I also find 4 guns and a box with gunpowder. I put everything on my raft. The sea is calm. The wind goes to the land. This is all good. Soon, I am on the beach. I look for a place where I can stay. I see a hill. From the hill, I can see where I am. I take a gun. I walk to the hill. I go to the top. I see sea around the whole place. I am on an island. I see two small islands near. One is to the north, one is to the west. I also see a big land to the south. The land is about 100 kilometers far. I see nothing to the east. I see only the ocean. I don't see people on the island. I see only wild animals. Chapter 9. Tent. I see many birds on the way back from the hill, but I don't know their names. I don't know if I can eat them. I kill one bird, but the meat isn't good. I go back to the raft. The next day, I want to go back to the ship. I want to take all important things to the island. The next storm can destroy the ship completely. I make a small tent near the beach. I bring the things which can be destroyed by rain to the tent. The night comes. I lie on the ground. I put 2 guns near my left shoulder. I also put 2 guns near my right shoulder. Now, I feel safe. I am tired. I sleep very soon. I swim back to the ship the next day. I make a second raft. I put many things on the raft. I am very happy when I find 7 new guns and some beds. I take all these things to the beach. I go to the ship every day. I bring back many good things. For example, I find a lot of candles. I need candles on the island. I also find 2 big boxes of tea. I make a lot of visits to the ship. One day, I discover a box which is closed. Under the box, I find a key. When I open the box, I see some money from Europe and Brazil. Money is not important on the island, but I take the money with me. I also find cards with pictures. They are pictures of the king and the queen. I can play some games. I can have some fun with the cards. The next day, big dark clouds are in the sky. They are bigger and bigger. The wind is stronger and stronger. I visit the ship, but I don't make a raft because a storm is near. Rafts can break easily in a storm. I swim back to the beach. The wind is really strong at night, but I am safe inside my little tent. The ship is gone the next morning. I know that I can stay on the island very long. I want to make a nice place where I can live. I also need to be safe. I can look for a cave. Or I can make a bigger tent. Maybe I can do both. I need a place which is near fresh water. The place must be in shadow. It must be easy to protect the place. I also need a view of the sea. I want to see ships. I find a nice place next to a big hill. I put my tent there. The hill protects me from one side. I build a fence on all the other sides. The fence has no door. I use a ladder when I go over the fence. I take all my things inside. I have more plans in my head. I make 2 tents. One tent is big. The second tent is small. The smaller tent is inside the bigger tent. The bigger tent protects the gunpowder and the food from rains. I live in the smaller tent. Chapter 10. Calendar. When the tents are finished, I start to make a cave at the bottom of the hill. I want to use the cave for food. I bring stones and earth from the cave to the fence. I make a terrace on the inside of the fence. I still work on the cave when a storm comes one day. I see lightning during the storm. I think that the lightning can hit my boxes with gunpowder. The explosion can destroy everything. The explosion can also kill me. I am scared. I need to make a change. After the storm, I open the boxes with the gunpowder. I put the gunpowder in smaller boxes and bags. I hide the boxes and bags in the rocks. I have a lot of gunpowder, so this takes 3 days. I also hunt every day. It is a break from the hard work. And I also need some meat. When I hunt, I also start to know the island more. I discover some goats. I hunt them. Now, I have enough meat. I am sad sometimes. I think about my wife. I miss her very much. I think about my friends in Brazil. I think about my parents. I know that traveling by sea can change your life completely. Traveling can be great, but traveling can be horrible too. I know that my friends from the ship are dead. I know that I am the only person alive. I am lucky. I am also lucky because I have all the things like food, guns, and clothes. I can't survive without these things. I decide to make a big cross. I put the cross on the beach. I write on the cross the date of my first day on the island. I want to keep information about time. The cross is my calendar. I make a small cut in the cross every day. Every Sunday, the cut is longer. This cut shows the end of the week. The last day of every month is also a long cut. One day, I think about my situation. I have negative thoughts. This is not good. I want to change my negative thoughts. I decide to write all good and bad things. First, I write what is bad. I am alone on this island. I have nobody for a conversation. I have only a small chance that I can see England again. But I am alive. I am safe. I have my freedom. I have enough food. This is all positive. I don't have good clothes, but I don't need a lot of clothes on this island. I have my dog. He understands some words. He understands when I say, "Sit down. Come here. Bring it. Don't jump. Don't do it." I see that my situation is not perfect, but I have also some good things in my life. I need to concentrate on positive things only. I continue to make my place better and better. I make the cave bigger. I have space for many things in the cave. I am happy because my life is now well organized. Chapter 11. Book, I need to make some furniture. I need a chair and a table. I use the wood from my rafts and the ship. It takes 5 days to make them. Then I make more furniture for the cave. I put my clothes and guns in the cave too. I am very happy when my work is finished. The cave is comfortable now. Everything is well organized. I can easily find what I need. I decide to write a book about my life on the island. I describe my days in the book. I start with my first day on the island. I write everything what I remember. I also write what I think. It is good when I write my thoughts on paper. When I start, I write 1 page every day. But when I get to the present, I write only 1 page every week. I write only important things. After some time on the island, my life is well organized, but my life is never boring. I have always some work. Every morning, I walk around the island. Then I work. I have lunch at noon. Then I sleep, but not very long. Then I continue with my work. I relax or I write my book in the evening. I make my cave bigger and bigger. I want to have a big cave. The cave is my kitchen, living room, and sometimes a bedroom.